Hey guys, welcome back. Hopefully yesterday wasn't too bad for you. Today should be a lot easier. Okay, it just took me a long time to try to explain the hows and the whys of yesterday's lesson, but I think today will clear it all up. Okay, so first let's summarize those rules that we learned from yesterday. I'm going to make a little chart to help you study it. Okay. If the original coordinates are x, y, and we're only dealing with counterclockwise right now, you do a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation, 180, and 270. These are the rules you have to have memorized, okay? For 90 degrees, we reverse the coordinates, and for 270, we reverse the coordinates. For 90, you change the sign of the first number. For 270, change the sign of the second number. For 180, you don't reverse, but you change both signs, okay? Those are the rules that you want to memorize. And again, this is all for counterclockwise rotations only. We haven't talked about clockwise yet, okay? So next thing you got to know, and you may want to take a snapshot of this, the next thing you want to know is how do you use these rules? And I'll give you one example. Let's say I had point A, and let's say it has coordinates -3, 5. Okay? If we did a 90-degree rotation, then A prime would be, using this rule over here, this says reverse. So I reverse but keep the signs. Then I change the sign of the first number. That would be a 90-degree rotation. Now let's go back to A prime, or the original A, not A prime. So now ignore this guy. Let's do a 180. Okay, doing a 180. Let me erase the one that we had for 90 so it doesn't get in your way. The rule for 180 says keep the order the same, but change both signs. Positive, negative. Okay, that would be a 180-degree rotation. The last one, 270. Again, using the original A, what would that one look like? This rule says reverse, and when I reverse, I leave the signs initially. Change the sign of the second one. Okay? So that's how you apply those rules. So on your worksheet, it starts with just a summary of those rules, okay? So a rotation is a turn around a fixed point, and the figure rotates a specific degree or angle and a specific direction, which right now we've just done counterclockwise. I don't really care if you know those words, no big deal. All right, what are those rules? Using formal lingo, for 90 degrees, XY maps to reverse and change the sign of the first one. I'm going to skip to 270. For 270, XY maps to reverse, change the sign of the second one. For 180, XY maps to -X, -Y, change both signs. Okay, those are our rules. Okay, 90-degree rotation goes one quadrant away. 180 ends up being 2 quadrants away. And 270 ends up being 3 quadrants away. So let's do 2 or 3 of the problems in your worksheet we'll do together. Okay, number 1. First of all, if you read the directions above it, it says you're supposed to graph the pre-image, the original triangle that they have here. Oops, sorry. The original triangle that they have here, you're going to graph that, and you're going to graph the resulting image after you apply the rule using these coordinates, okay? So I'm going to skip straight to applying the rule. This is a 90-degree rotation. For 90 degrees, remember the rule for 90 is reverse and change the sign of the first one. So take this A, reverse, change the sign of the first one, -7. B, reverse, change the sign of the first one, and C, reverse, whoops, 1, 4, and change the sign on the first one. Now you're supposed to graph both the original and the new shape, okay? And you can use pretty colors if you really want to. So I'm going to plot all of my points and now graph them. So first I'll graph the original. 2, 7, over 2, up 7. Okay, and you're supposed to label that with an A. 6, 5. Label that with a B. And 4, 1. Label that with a C. Okay, connect them. Easier for me. Pretty cool. All right, and now we graph the new image, the resulting image. So now A prime, I'm going to switch colors. Ooh, fancy. So A prime is now negative 7, 2. Okay, B prime is negative 5, 6. And C prime is negative 1, 4. And connect the dots. Then if you wanted to check it, you should be able to, you can't flip your paper, but you could literally turn your paper 90 degrees to the left and the shapes would line up on each other, okay? So let's do maybe one more applying the rules. Let's skip though, let's do a 271. Let's go to number, I think number 5. So remember the rules for 270, you reverse, reverse, but you change the sign of the second one, okay? So we're going to take all these coordinates, reverse them, and then change the sign of the second one. So C is going to turn into 5, negative 5. I leave the signs the same, then I change the sign of the second one. D, reverse, change the sign of the second one. E, reverse, change the sign of the second one. And F, reverse, change the sign of the second one. Okay? So now you just got to take the time to graph both the original and, which remember the original is called the pre-image, and we're going to graph the resulting image, which they just call image. Okay? So graphing my original, point C was at negative 5, 5. D is at negative 1, 7. E is negative 3, 3. And F is negative 7, 1. So here's my original rhombus, they're calling it, diamond. Okay, there's my original pre-image. And now I'm going to graph my resulting image, and I should expect it to end up where if it's 270? It should be 3 quadrants away from this. So it should go 1 quadrant, 2 quadrants, 3 quadrants. It should end up over here, okay? I find it takes me the longest just to plot these points. Okay, so C prime is 5, 5. D prime is 7, 1. E prime is 3, 3. And F prime is 1, 7. Over 1, up 7. And that is my F prime. Connect dots. Pretty picture. Okay, and that is it. I like that. I mean, it's time consuming to have to draw the original image and the resulting image. I missed something. There you go. It's time consuming, but it does verify that when you do the rule correctly, the shape doesn't change shape. It just turns, and it also verifies which quadrant it should end up in. So I know it's time consuming to graph both the original and the resulting image, but I do think it helps make the point better. All right, good luck, guys. I hope you're doing well. Your assignment today should go better than it did yesterday. Have a great break, by the way. Stay safe. Have fun.